reporting something about their condition in their city. There are many religious leaders who came to their market town. Then they give different instruction. Then, if we say briefly, they also know the Buddha is going to deliver one discourse. Although they don't say, they don't believe the Buddha teaching, it means they have more information given by many other teachers other than the Buddha. That in this event, the Buddha talk about how people believe and how people accept the truth. Now here we will start the first one, Anusavana, accepting through hearsay. So we listen to many people, we got many informations, then some of the information will be acceptable, but we also accept it as truth. So the Buddha recommended them, don't believe hearsay. That means sometimes it can be truth, sometimes it can be untruth. So mostly, almost all the wrong view come from listening and then hearing. After listening the same information very long times, we think it's the truth. So the Buddha recommended Kalama people not to believe just hearsay. Then 2, Parambara, accepting through tradition. Actually here we should elaborate a few more things about Parambara. Parambara means many descendants, many generations hand over the theory. So although many generations bring the theory, then some of them will be truth, some of them will be untruth. The Buddha recommended, don't believe in the tradition, the theory handed down generation to generations for many years, many descendants. Then we have the third one, Itikira, accepting through rumor. So when many people are talking about the same things, when many people accept the same truth, then we also believe in it. Actually, the truth does not come from the number of people who accept it. That is why the Buddha recommended, don't believe the rumor. Although many people accept it as the truth, it can be truth, it can be untruth. Then the next one, Pitaka Samadhana, accepting because it matches with scripture. So here we use the Pali word Pitaka. That many people also understand Tipitaka, right? Buddhist text. In reality, Pitaka also means any scripture, any text. We may have learned many texts from many different teachers, many different religious leaders. But sometimes some of the informations are in conformity with our text. Some of the informations are not in conformity with our text. Then the Buddha also said, don't believe the scripture. Then later I will say what to believe. Then 5. Taka hetu, accepting through logical reasoning. So we may have many different logic to understand something. So although by logical reasonings, sometimes it can be truth, it can be untruth. That is why the Buddha recommended, don't believe through anything, any theory, through logical reasonings. Then 6. Naya hetu, accepting through inference. Okay, here in this case, we also have to know Naya. Naya means our own reasoning, our own knowledge, our own acceptance. So we also believe this kind of things, but somebody also says the same thing that we believe. Or this in accordance with what I have learned, what I have known, what I have read. This is called Naya Hetu. Then we have 7. Akara Parivataka. Akara Parivataka means accepting through reflexive thinking. I should elaborate a few more in this context. Akara Parivataka means if there's a heat, there is a cold. If there's a darkness, there is the light. So we can find many opposite factors, many similar factors, many opposite conditions, many similar conditions. So by thinking, by reflecting, we can also know something truth that we may believe. The Buddha recommended by merely reflexive thinking, don't believe in it. Sometimes it can be truth, it can be untruth. Then we have 8. Diti Nijana Kanti. Accepting after pondering and approving of view. Then we also have a lot of thinking, a lot of analyzing. After analyzing many different ways, we can find some new idea, new logic, or new theory that we may prove it in many different ways. Although we have many sources, many approval, then the Buddha recommended not to believe in it. This is called Ditti Nijjana Khanti. Then we have the next one. Bhava Rupadaya. Accepting because the speaker appears competent. We can also say another, he is trustworthy. So there are many well-educated people, many influential people, many wise people. Then they may tell the truth most of the time. We can also understand they are trustworthy. But the Buddha said, don't believe in merely saying, presented by trustworthy people. Then 10, Karu, accepting because this is our teacher. So mostly we respect our teacher. Then we also think that whatever teachers say is the truth. But according to Buddha's teaching, don't believe in it also. These are the Buddha recommendation. Don't believe easily. So we can also understand, don't accept easily. Then, how should we accept? What kind of truth should we accept? This is more important in our life. Okay, here the Buddha recommended, when knowing or experiencing something bad, blamable, and unwholesome by yourself, and you must avoid doing it. So here we have a statement, we must know it, or we must experience something bad. Okay, how shall we measure good and bad? We have another one, blamable. Sometimes we blame ourselves after doing something wrong. Sometimes we are blamed by the wise person if we make mistake. It becomes blamable. Okay, there will be some special conditions of blaming. There are many good people, wise people, with good intention. They will blame us in order to change something, wishing us to change something. In this kind of case, we must accept it. There are some people, they will just find faults on us, although we are doing right and good. Then they will complain, they will blame us. We don't need to count that kind of complaint or blame. So if wise people complain or blame, we must be more careful. We must change it. This is called blamable action, blamable speech. Then we also say unwholesome. How can we measure unwholesome or akusala? It will be the same, blamable. Not only that, it will bring harmful results. This is called unwholesome. So we have already experienced something harmful in our mind. Now we have already experienced some blame by the wise person. We feel something bad or we feel guilty after doing something wrong. This is unwholesome. Now we must accept this is unwholesome. This is bad. We must avoid doing it. Okay, similarly, if something is really very good, blameless, and wholesome, we must do it. We must believe this is the truth. This is wholesome. This is what the Buddha wished his disciple to follow. Out unwholesome. For example, greed. Greed is unwholesome. Hatred, delusion can bring suffering due to breaking precepts. So that means greed is unwholesome. Why is unwholesome? In our community, there are many people, they break precepts caused by greed. For example, killing living beings. Sometimes we kill because we want to eat, caused by greed. Sometimes we kill living beings because of hatred. Sometimes we kill living beings because of delusion, not knowing the truth. That there can be many other defilements that can cause breaking precepts. So these are unwholesome. These are also blamable. After doing something wrong, we have to suffer for it. So practically, in your community, there are many people in the prison. Why they are in the prison? Because of breaking precepts. They will suffer for it. Okay, one more thing here. When we talk about breaking precepts, there can be only two types of actions. That means body actions and speech. We can also say bodily and unbodily, we break precepts. Then after breaking precepts, we have to suffer. So these are the condition we have. Then we must accept greed can bring us, or the greed can produce suffering. Similarly, hatred, delusion, and other defilements can produce sufferings. Then again, for sublime abidance to overcome avijja and so on. So if we wish to overcome greed, hatred, and delusion, we can also practice the full sublime abidance. Here I should introduce the Pali word avijja. Mostly we translate as a covetousness. But in reality, avijja means improper greed. That means you went in to get other people's properties illegally or improperly. This is called avijja. So when we have too much greed or improper greed, we may break precepts. Then we also have one Pali word, vyapada, ill will. This means we have very bad minds, bad intention to spoil people's properties or to spoil people's life. This is called vyapada. So when we have these types of wrong conditions, wrong intention, then we should meditate. Many times people also ask, why do we need to meditate? We all have defilements. We all need peacefulness. The defilements and the peacefulness are opposite. When we want to feel peacefulness, we must subside the defilements. Then to subside defilements, we need to meditate. So now here we are going to talk about food supply and abiding. You have known the Pali word metta, loving kindness. So when we have loving kindness, we will love all the living beings equally, without any boundaries or barriers. Then we may not disturb any living beings. Okay, again, when we have defilements, we will disturb. If we elaborate a few more, when we have greed, we may disturb. When we have hatred, delusion, pride, wrong view, then we may disturb other living beings. When we have loving kindness, we may not disturb any living beings. So we can radiate metta to all living beings in all directions. Similarly, compassion or kindness. Compassion also is also the opposite of hatred. Then when we have a kindness, we may not disturb other living beings. One more thing here. If we have equal compassion towards all living beings without any boundaries or any barriers, it will be more effective to live in the community. For example, the Buddha himself, when he was fulfilling parami, he had a great compassion. Okay, one more thing here. Compassion means we don't want anybody suffering. We want to remove people's suffering. We want to have suffering being. This is the meaning of compassion, karuna. Similarly, mudita, sympathetic joy. We can also understand as appreciation. If we don't have mudita, we may have very strong jealousy. It can discharge people. When seeing happy beings, successful people, then those who can achieve very high-ranking goals or something, we must be able to appreciate. Then it will be compassion, it will be mudita, sympathetic joy. Okay, now the last one, ubekha, equanimity. Equanimity means our mind must be free from love and hate. This is also equanimity. Then sometimes we love too much or we hate too much. Then we also do something wrong. We may follow the wrong causes or partiality. When we have equanimity towards all living beings, it will be more effective. So the Buddha also recommended in Kisamudi Sutta to radiate metta, karuna, mudita, ubekha towards all living beings. So today we just have an introduction, but later I have to elaborate all sublime abidance in detail. Now we have purification of the mind. If we can practice well, we can purify our mind. The purifications of mind can bring relief in 4 ways. So here I should elaborate these 4. 1. If there is the result of karma and future existences, I will be reborn in the higher realms because of good actions, good speech, and a good thought. Because we can purify our mind. Okay, one more thing. When our mind is pure, our action, our speech is right, effective, not harming anybody. When our thought is impure, when our mind is impure, our speech and action will be wrong. That is why, if there is the result of karma, then we have already purified our mind. At the same time, we can also purify our speech and action. Then our karma are good and pure. It will not bring us to be reborn in the lower realms. That is why when we can purify our mind, we can release from being born in the lower realms. Then there are some tradition or some religion, they don't believe in karma and future existences. If there is no result of karma and no future existences, I can live peacefully in this very life. Okay, here we should say a few more things about karma. Mentally, if we are killing some living beings, it's not very serious, right? Only mental action. When that mental actions change to speech, then we may command or order somebody to kill. When it comes to action, we ourselves will kill living beings. So one more thing here. Action. It will affect ourselves, it will affect other living beings. Okay, you can understand all the precepts. If we live alone, we don't need to kill any living beings. Right? We don't need to steal any other people's belonging. We live alone. Nobody's around us. So similarly, when we speak also, if we live alone, we don't need to tell a lie to anybody. When we tell a lie, there must be somebody who can listen, who can understand. For example, right, I will speak my own language, Myanmar, and I will tell a lie. You cannot understand. It's not effective. Right? But one more thing. If I scold you angrily, although I use my own language, you can understand. Although you don't understand fully, you can recognize what happened in my mind. Okay, the main thing is, all the morality, all the precepts, especially all the speech and action, it will affect the community. It will affect other living beings. So that means many people can respond. For example, if I scold, not all the people are easy to accept, right? They will scold me back, maybe. If somebody scold me again, I'm going to feel peaceful. Since we haven't insulted anybody by action or speech, that is why we can live peacefully. That's why the second release here. If there's no result of karma and no future existences, I can live peacefully in this body life. This is the second relief. Then we will go to the third one. If there's an evildoer is doing evil as accepted by people, I haven't done any evil and I will not suffer from evil doing. This is a little bit messy, right? I should elaborate a few more. There are some conditions, some theory, they don't believe right and wrong, good and bad. For example, although we say good things, it does not exist in this world. Okay, if we say another way, good and bad are determined by people. It's not truth. A different community may have different standard of good and bad. For example, drug user. They also have community. In their community, using drug is common. It's no mistake. they may not think it's wrong. Okay, similarly, drunkard, alcoholic, they also live with a community. Then they don't think that it's wrong. So that means right and wrong is determined by, right and wrongs are determined by people and a community. It's not truth. People also have that kind of idea. Okay, according to their point of view, there's no good things or bad things. Although we do something wrong, it's no mistake. Although we are doing something right or something good, it's not right. Okay, when we have this kind of belief, right, then there will be wrong view, right? Okay, here, some wrong view. Here, if there is an evil deed, as people accept it, then I haven't done anything wrong. Then I don't need to suffer from any evil doing. This is also one of the release, the third release. Okay, now the last one. If the evildoer is not doing evil as accepted by people, I am impure anyway. Okay, here one more thing. As I have mentioned before, as people believe, if there's no akusala, no kusala in this world, that means there's no right things, no wrong things. Whatever thing we do is a right. That means whatever thing we do cannot be determined as a right or wrong. It's just normal or common. So according to their point of view, although we are doing evil, it's not evil. Right? When we have this kind of idea, this kind of belief also, we are pure anyway. Okay, briefly. In this sutta, the Buddha recommended us to do wholesome deeds, whether people believe or not. So all the complaint, all the blame come from the community. Then people can see our behavior and our action. People can hear our speech, our voice. Then seeing and hearing, they will complain or blame. Then if something wrong, we have to change. Okay, you may know this sutta, Kesamudi Sutta. This is very famous. Sometimes people pick up some part of this sutta. For example, Pitaka Sambaraya, right? That means don't believe Tipitaka. Sometimes when people are lazy to practice, they pick up this part. Right? For example, I may talk about many different types of practice, many different types of vinaya, many different types of learning or lifestyles. Some of the rules and regulations are very difficult to follow in modern society. If they are unwilling to follow, then they will say, Buddha said, don't believe the text. But they don't quote the last part. Knowing, experiencing, good and bad. So after experiencing something good, we have to accept it. We have to believe it. Without practicing, we cannot experience. We cannot know. For example, when we talk about nimitta, then you may also have read something about nimitta. Then it will be very difficult for you to achieve that kind of level. Then sometimes people also say it is impossible to see the light. It's impossible to see the nimitta. This is the one way, right? Then another option. It's not necessary to see the light. It's not necessary to see the nimitta. So, sometimes we just pick up the part we like. We just have some sources, Pali sources. We just pick up only one part of sutta. We don't read entire sutta, full sutta. That it can mislead people. So in this sutta, the Buddha also says, don't believe, don't believe, don't believe, don't believe. 10 times. The Buddha also said, accept or believe when experiencing or knowing. And not only that, the Buddha also recommended how to do and what to do. What are obstacles? What are hindrances? What are the defilements? So when we can know the defilements are bad, we must try to subside. If we can do more than that, we must uproot. Then this is necessary to feel peaceful in our life. Okay, today we just started how to believe and what to believe. Then we can also understand how people believe. We have many sources, right? We have 10 sources. How people believe. We ourselves also believe according to these 10 sources. If we ourselves can experience, we can confirm our practice. For example, seeing the light. By reading the textbooks, you can know, by practicing anapanasati, we can see the light. You may have a doubt about it, since you haven't experienced the light when you are meditating. This is worthy of doubt. But when you yourself experience the light, no doubt about it, you can overcome doubt practically. So belief comes from practice. Belief comes from experience. It makes our saddha stronger. It can confirm our saddha. We can also say the Pali was saddha dimokha, determined by faith, determined by confidence, because this is our experience. So the truth we accept come from many different sources. Similarly, the truths we accept come from many different experiences. So we need knowledge, we need experiences to confirm the truth we accept, to confirm what we believe. At this very beginning of retreat today, that's why we just start with Kesamudi Sutta. It will be a long series of Dhamma Talk. But next time, I will not mention the Sutta. I will just list out what the meditator should know. I think in the announcement, in the pamphlet you may have seen, right? Handbooks for Meditators. So I will combine all the necessary factors for meditators. Okay, today I will stop here. So we have a little bit late, right? Then may you all be able to practice the Buddha teaching, and may you all be able to realize final cessation in our suffering. Okay. Okay, now, is there any question? It should not be later than 8 or 9 also, right? Question and answer should not be later than 9 or o'clock, right? Because now only 20 minutes maybe. Okay.
Kính bạch Sayadaw, Sayadaw cho con hỏi câu hỏi là lúc nãy Sayadaw nói về 10 cái điều tin, thì trong đó con thấy Sayadaw nói là một vị thầy không đáng tin. Thế thì như những hàng cư sĩ như chúng con, cái trí tuệ còn hiểu biết còn non kém, thì để muốn biết và tin vào một vị thầy hướng dẫn cho mình thì cần phải nhìn vào những điểm gì ạ?
Tức là cái Đức Phật dạy rằng không nên tin chỉ vì người đó là một vị thầy, hay là một vị thầy gọi là nổi tiếng, chứ không phải là không nên tin vị thầy đáng tin gì đó, đúng không? Bây giờ anh đặt lại câu hỏi.
Cô là lúc nãy con thấy ngài có nói là đôi khi ngay cả một vị thầy của mình có nói với mình ấy, thì mình cũng không nên tin ngay, và mình cần phải suy xét ấy. Thì con mới muốn là với những cái hàng cư sĩ như chúng con ấy, thì về cái sự hiểu biết và cái trí tuệ nó còn rất là kém, thì để mà biết đâu mới là cái để mà mình đáng tin thì cần phải những cái gì ạ?
Yeah. So now the question is, just now the Buddha said, although that's our teacher, but we should not believe. We should not believe without analyzing or experiencing. But according to our poor knowledge and poor experience as a lay devotee, so how can we know when or how we should believe our teacher saying? That's difficult.
Okay, in this case, you must learn some knowledge also.
Trong trường hợp này chúng ta cần phải học
Right? For example,
kiến thức khác.
if you have learned Abhidhamma, you may not believe all the teacher easily. Similarly, if you have learned Vinaya, you may not have devotion to any bhikkhu, all the bhikkhu, right? You may know how to choose. Similarly, if you have learned many suttas, you may not believe all the Dhamma talks given by many teachers. Okay, practically we must learn some part of Buddha teaching, like a Sutta, Abhidhamma or Vinaya. When you are knowledgeable, that you can decide whom to believe, whom not to believe. Okay?
Nami Sayadaw. Sayadaw, can you hear me? Sayadaw, can you hear me?
Dạ con kính thưa thiền sư, nối tiếp với cái câu hỏi vừa qua thì con có thêm một câu hỏi tiếp nối là thiền sư vừa dặn chúng con là nếu mà chúng ta đọc về giới, học về vi diệu pháp và những điều khác trong kinh điển thì chúng ta có thể phân biệt được những vị thầy nào phù hợp cho mình. Nhưng mà cái ý này nó lại nằm trong một cái ý là chúng ta cũng không nên dễ dàng tin vào kinh điển. Vậy thì con phải giải đáp cái khúc mắc ở chỗ này như thế nào ạ?
So now continue to the answer just now, Sayadaw answer to his question, and that we should learn Tipitaka, Vinaya, Sutta and Abhidhamma to understand what to believe and what not to believe. But however, in the Kalama Sutta, Buddha also said we should not believe in the Tipitaka, the scripture easily. So in this point, how can I make it clear between the scripture and the people?
Okay, it will be more practical. Right? For example, in Vietnamese community, if somebody cheat you, how do you feel?
Sorry, Sayadaw.
If somebody cheats or deceive you, how do you feel? Then the what I will talk about sila. Right? Not to tell a lie, not to deceive people. You might accept it's wrong. Okay? But also said this, you also experienced that one already, accept it. Okay, in the sutta, the Buddha also mentioned many other things similar to deceiving or cheating. For example, like a Maya Sateya. Okay? Maya means concealing our mistakes. Then also revealing non-existent quality. Okay, I have to elaborate a few more. Without being moral, we pretend to be moral. Without having concentration, we pretend that we have concentration. Right? So that kind of things are wrong according to Buddha's teaching. Then when seeing or when hearing somebody like that, how do you feel? If you feel something bad, avoid it. Right? So that means in the text, it also mentioned this is a wrong, this is a wrong, this is a wrong. Also mentioned this is a right, this is a right, this is a right. According to your own experiences, how do you feel it? How do you understand it? Right? You can also accept, you can also reject. Okay, one more thing here. Some of the truths are not sweet. Right? Not all the truths are sweet. Some of the truths are very bitter. Right? I think I have already talked about it last year here, right? For example, if we are greedy, we don't want to know anything about contentment. If we are immoral, we don't want to hear anything about morality. Okay, sometimes what we are doing, what the Buddha said are opposite. But many people are complaining our behavior or our speech, right? But we don't care anybody. We don't know how to respect people. Okay, one more thing here. If we have very strong wrong view, or if we are very much arrogant, we may not accept the truth. If you are unwilling to accept bitter truth, you must check what kind of mindset you have. Is it wrong view or arrogance? Right? So some of the truths are not ready for people to accept. But it's the truth. Right? Okay, if we summarize, when you are reading Tipitaka, you must compare with your lifestyle and your community, and you can find the truth. You have to accept it. Okay?
Vandami Sayadaw. Sayadaw, can you hear me? Sayadaw, can you hear me?
No more?
Sayadaw.
Okay.
Sayadaw.
Okay, you can.
Can you hear Chinese interpreter Bhante sound?
Sayadaw, can you hear me? Vandami Sayadaw. Vandami Sayadaw. Sayadaw, can you hear me?
Bhante Sayadaw 听不到。Yeah. 或是 Bhante 您说，我跟着念出来好吗？英文，对不起。Sayadaw, during meditation, the body is shaking. How should he do?
Okay. In this kind of case, we should check our breathing system. Sometimes if we follow the breathing, our body may shake. It also can be like a swaying sometimes. So this kind of swaying or shaking comes from breathing. Okay, we have another condition. It comes from piti. Sometimes when we have piti, then we also have some shaking in the body, like a little shock. This is also normal. So if you have swaying or shaking because of breathing, then you don't follow breathing. You can overcome this problem. For about PT, it can be only short time, no problem. Only maybe 2 or 3 times shaking, after that disappear. So if you follow breathing and breathing out too much, the shaking will prolong, will take long time. Okay, done? Okay, now? No more question? Okay. If no question, we can stop here also, right? We can share merit. Etawata cha amehi Sambadam bunya sambaram Sabbe deva numodandu Sabbe Buddha numodandu Sabbe Satta numodandu Sabba Sambati Siddhya Idame Nyatinam Hotu Sukhita Hondu Nyatayo Idame Nyatinam Hotu Sukhita Hondu Nyatayo Idame Nyatinam Hotu Sukhita Hondu Nyatayo Idame Bunyam Asawakayam Waham Hotu Idame Bunyam Nibbanasa Bhajayo Hotu Mama Bunya Bhagam Sabba Satanam Bhajami Te Sabbe Me Samam Bunya Bhagam Labantu Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu